but I thought, rather than me reading it, it would be better for each one of you to introduce quickly, say 2 lines about yourself, and also to just give a background for the audience. If you're using a CRM or in the process, I think that would help also target some of the questions that are coming in. Yes. So starting with you, Mr.
Hello. Yeah. I head the global marketing function at Team Coaches. It's part of Arrow Electronics, $30 billion Fortune 500 firm. Yeah, we use CRM because the moment you talk about a public firm, right? It's very important to give quarterly guidances. So, which means that you absolutely need predictability in your sales pipeline, and that's where CRM plays a big role. Just a couple of other things, because I come from marketing, right? So a lot of research has shown that you need at least between 7 to 12 touch points before somebody becomes a lead. So in that way, CRM is absolutely helpful because you're making sure that your sales team is doing the 7 to 12 follow-ups. So we use CRM for that. That's number one. Number two, where especially I use CRM and I've seen good success, is you talk to somebody, right? It's very hard, but after 3 months we say, hey, it's not the right time, there is changing priorities. Now, after 6 months, if the sales guy is left, right, that becomes cold. How do you ensure that you are feeding him with the right information? That's where CRM is fantastic use, because you can have an automated program. You can say that, hey, every 2 months, if you have a new sample, if you have a new product, CRM, you can automate the whole lead nurturing process. So that's what we use CRM for too, making sure that your current leads are followed up properly by sales folks. Second thing is you making sure that all leads are followed up in an automated way, because it's just impossible for your sales folks to be in touch with all your leads, at any point of time.
I'm Sharad. I'm CEO with Intech. We are basically with automotive commercial vehicles, and we are engaged with Bharat Commercial Vehicle, which is a brand of Daimler Mercedes. You see, CRM, as everyone in this hall knows that CRM is what? CRM is customer who, our customer, relation with whom, our customer relation, and management, what management? Management, our sales management, or whatever we want in win-win situation for both of us, as the seller as well as the buyer both. Because I am from sales industry, largely I know that customer relationship management is very, very essential. As just now we shared that in any of the lead, we have to make pre-calls, and then only the post-call happens, and post-call converted into a sales lead. And in between, if somebody is associated with you and he left, then definitely you are blank again. And for that, if you have a record, if you have a data in a systematic way, it is always helpful. CRM, what I feel, what I see, is very, very essential for any of sales guy in manufacturing or in your marketing and sales.
I'm Ajay, basically area 31 years of experience in pharma. Currently, I'm an entrepreneur and run a West Coast pharmaceutical. We work on ERP and CRM, but I hope all of you know that in pharma industries, you deal with the most intelligent customer, that is doctors. So the biggest challenge is, when you deal with them, and the turnover issues in the field is so high because of the competition, especially in Gujarat. We face many times that carrying the data to a next person's. So that is where the CRM is the most important and very useful. We work into the different business model, because being a manufacturer and marketer and an exporter, so we have a different CRM systems which we would like to integrate, in fact, and we have a different ERP systems where the different reporting is taking place. So the export guys, the domestic guys, the B2B and contract manufacturing people, and at the same time the generic guys, so all help be integrated into one systems, so that we carry forward the whole data and as a holistically any organization, we work together as a system of integrations. So it's very, very useful, both. The only thing, the integrations which we would like to do, because we are not, we are a small organization of around 250 crores. We are so we are looking forward for the technologically upgradation to both the systems. Yes.
Good evening. Myself, Vikul Patel, and we are into paper printing and packaging. So whenever I try to introduce my company, I just say one line that we can print everything on paper except currency. So Gujarat, we have the largest capacity of the printing, and I can say the most technological advanced printing setup we have. We have a product vertical, so we have commercial printing, we have photo books, and we have one more vertical which is coming up. So we yes definitely use CRM, and it's completely custom built. So it started with one motif, and then it expanded so well that we didn't know that it became CRM for us. And we do have a team in 4 to 5 states, and there our team members also report through mobile application of ours, that which get integrated with our CRM. But the major, our core focus for having the CRM in the company, just to optimize. So each and every month, year on year, we optimize on our team members' performance and their deliverables or the KPIs to the company. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kamlesh. I head sales, marketing, and supply chain at Hyphen Foods, which is into manufacturing of frozen French fries and potato specialties. Well, currently we don't use CRM, but I would only say that work in progress when it comes to CRM. So looking forward for Intech to help us, to integrate with the ERP, which is SAP we are using right now. I'm sure after CRM, our sales would boost up. It would be value addition to the entire system. Thank you.
Hello everyone, myself Alpesh Patel. We have a packaging unit in nearby Ahmedabad. We have just last year we implemented SAP S/4HANA with the marketing tools we use CRM. So just last year we finished this, we did this all the implementations, and now we are working with SAP with the CRM together. Thank you.
Hi, so I'll just reintroduce myself. I would rather talk as a seller as well as a user of CRM. So as a seller, I've had this privilege of speaking to multiple industries, leaders from multiple industries, and this is across BFSI, retail, manufacturing, organizations of all sizes. And what we realized, as some of you also spoke, the business value that CRM adds to any organization, I think everybody has realized it is immense. It's just about sort of making the process right. And there is, I would say, and again, I've worked for Oracle, I've seen other systems also. It's about how that CRM actually adapts to your environment. How really we as users of CRM can extract value out of it. That remains the key. And as a user also, I can say that today in Microsoft as well, all of us, sellers, managers, everybody, the value that, again, the CRM brings us back in terms of the information it gives, like I said, the lead scoring, opportunity scoring kind of things, that has really helped us do things better. So, yeah.
Thank you. So, I know a majority of you are in the process or thinking of evaluating the CRM. So I would like to pose this question to the panelists here. As you were deciding on a CRM, so what were the key things that you were looking for in your CRM tool that made you go from one vendor to the other or one system to the other?
Yeah, so it is when we were deciding this CRM, one thing that is important is because we wanted the ability for the CRM to integrate with multiple other apps, right? Because for example, I'm from marketing, I use a bunch of marketing leadership tools. I wanted to make sure that the CRM can integrate with a bunch of these apps, because otherwise, technology is not going to the panacea, right? I don't want this situation where marketing uses one set of tools, sales uses another set of tools, so the whole purpose is lost. So That's why at least I went with cloud because I'm a firm believer that cloud is the way to go because most of the apps are going to be cloud based. So so my major criteria was can it integrate with all other important apps, right? So that I don't end up spending time in building connectors, the whole data importing, exporting issues. That was one.
No, I think that's a good point, and that reminds me, it's like, when we visit, many of our prospects, the biggest question in everybody's mind is why should we go to the cloud? Is on-premise better or cloud? So thanks for bringing that up here. So I want to hear from actually all the panelists here. So, what are your takes on, going on to cloud or on-premise?
Of course, cloud.
Okay. Who's in for cloud?
Cloud, definitely cloud.
Okay.
Certainly cloud. So I search for two things in any of the CRMs. First is the accessibility. So any of my team members can access it from anywhere. And the second is the how powerful the reporting is in that CRM. These two things I'll certainly look into any of the CRM.
Well, I would say like these days, any banks or any financial institute doesn't go ahead without KYC. Everyone knows what is KYC. So I would strongly recommend that CRM is must for any organization to go forward, because as I said in my previous statement that this will definitely help boosting your sales and adding value to the entire organization.
So it's very surprising. So everybody has vouched for cloud. So any concerns from you, in the audience, when you are deciding on a system, do you have any concerns going on cloud or on premise? And, let's have a discussion on that. Oh, my, sorry.
How is about data security? We have a lot of data which is our technical data or machine learning. If we go for the cloud, and how it is secure on the cloud, our customer information, our product information, or some internal secret information. If we go in cloud, how is about data security?
You want to take that or let's.
Yeah, so if you see most of the cloud-based CRMs, right, they are absolutely, all security certified. For example, like if you look at Salesforce, they're ISO 27000 certified. They also are in compliance with GDPR, they're in compliance with Sarbanes-Oxley Act, Oxley Act. Most of the famous CRMs are in absolute compliance with, different security procedures, because that's like one of security 101. And in fact, I would say that, if you use at least the industry-leading CRMs, whether it's Microsoft or Salesforce, they're actually way more, secure than any other systems.
So I think to expand on that, exactly as you said, it's like, see, the whole cloud infrastructure is built on the premises, like you have to build trust with the customer. And imagine the strength of Microsoft. It's a $1 trillion company versus, a manufacturing company. Microsoft themselves, their core business is cloud. So they obviously invest in the best security, data security, compliances, everything. In fact, it's difficult when we actually go to manufacturing organizations to have a dedicated IT staff which is continuously maintaining the right security, upgrading the hardware infrastructure, because that's a job in itself. So, and I think, Vishaka, correct me if I'm wrong, actually there's a mandate in India for the smaller banks, because they could not handle it, they are told to go on Azure Cloud because they cannot keep up with all these security demands. The fact that these ransomware and viruses are coming is because the IT has not kept the servers updated with the latest patches and the necessary things that were recommended to them because they just didn't have the time or the priority wasn't there, so they kept on delaying it, and here they get hacked by. So Microsoft, so that is their top priority, and that's what they do as a business.
In fact, a lot of BFSI companies, and that's where the real data security challenge is in India, including some of the public sector banks are going on now. And that is because all the necessary compliances, accreditations are in place. On top of that, Microsoft has data centers in India, which is sort of giving the confidence to financial services as well as even the government organizations to now take their data to cloud. And on top of that, you add the added benefit of performance. So we, as Microsoft, provide 99.9% uptime SLA, which is financially backed. So obviously, you really don't have to worry about what's happening at the back end from a performance, scalability, data recovery. All of that is completely taken care of, along with the security features. So that is of paramount. Microsoft runs on trust. That's the code line we go with, and all of this is publicly available information.
सर मैं इसमें इतना बताऊंगा कि आज की तारीख में सबसे ज़्यादा अपना ईमेल्स, हमने जैसे बोला कि ट्रस्ट, तो 100% हम सबके ईमेल्स ऑनलाइन हैं। मतलब ईमेल्स में अगर कोई गलती है दैट्स डिफरेंट थिंग्स। अगर ईमेल कहीं पर किसी का ओपन हुआ, कुछ भी हुआ, ईमेल के अंदर में नहीं है, तो ये जो कंपनीज है, तो आई बिलीव कि भाई इनके पास, और जब ये इम्प्लीमेंट करते तब मालूम पड़ता है हार्डवेयर लेना, फिर उसको मेंटेन करना, इसके ऊपर पीछे खर्चा करना, फिर भी हम टॉप टू मार तो नहीं हो सकते। उससे बेहतर है कि भाई उनकी सर्विस, उसमें उनकी एक्सपर्टाइज है, वी बिलीव, वी ट्रस्ट, सो डेफिनेटली क्लाउड्स।
या थैंक यू।
Anybody else?
Yeah, so I can share my experience with the cloud, using the cloud. So we have a huge database. Other than the accounting and everything, we store a lot of database in cloud Dropbox, and we have a monthly subscription of unlimited storage space. So probably when you are going with any of the standard company, which is the world class and that's core area, then probably we don't need to think much about the data security. And the second, I would say, I also think for myself that how secure I am sharing my password and keeping my data secure. So if I'm sharing my password with any of my colleague which has got important data, if that is secure, I don't think so we need to worry about the first part.
But in that case, there is two things. एक charges और depends. Like अगर आपको कितना data, कितना users, that is also. I am only talking about the CRM. I have good experience with the CRM for the cloud. I don't know in the SAP. SAP I have my own premises. So, but CRM, this is 100%. I recommend the cloud.
Yeah, so to elaborate a little bit, I think on cloud, the better things is, every salesperson is mobile. So wherever they are, to get that data accessibility and getting it real time is very important. Any other concerns or questions, as we're debating the on-premise versus cloud?
Cost.
The cost perspective, whether to go on cloud or on-premise. So obviously it depends, and we can show you, the mathematics behind it. So we typically see when you are going on-premise, how is a customer sizing the needs? So you are going to purchase a server, so you would at least use that server for 5 years, being in Gujarat maybe for 7. So you will want to see, okay, what is the growth of the company for the next 5 to 7 years. So on day 1, you are going to purchase the hardware requirements for the next 5 to 7 years. Day 1, are you going to utilize it or not? I don't know. Secondly, as I said, so that's a cost economics you have to figure out. The cloud, the models that are available in the SaaS, which is per user, per month kind of flexibility. When you go on-premise, again, you are sizing it as like, okay, I have 100 employees, maybe I'll grow to 120 this year. So you're purchasing 120 licenses upfront. With the cloud, basically it's a monthly subscription. So today you have 100, next month you're scaling up to 120. You have some trainees that are coming in, but then after 2 months those trainees are down, you're back down to 100. That flexibility in the whole licensing that it offers is huge. So on an average, we have worked out a TCO for many companies for 5 years, and we have convinced them it's 40% cheaper. With these two values plus the cost of having a dedicated person to keep on maintaining your hardware, the upgrade cycles, everything. And then don't forget, when you are on cloud, Microsoft is responsible for your data. So all the backup, disaster recovery, all of those systems, everything gets bundled into a simple per user per month licensing. And for a CRM system, you probably use, starting with the small company, you may use for 5, 10 users. Do you want to take up that headache, or you want to use that mindshare in growing your business? So that's a call you have to make.
And add to that upgrades cost. So obviously, for an on-prem system, it's always up to you and your technology partner or your own in-house IT to keep it to the latest versions. While in cloud, you're obviously always on the latest and exploring the latest features of the application. So that is obviously adds up to the cost savings that you're.
Yeah, one last thing is also CapEx versus OpEx, right? Because if you want to do an on-prem solution, then all the IT investment is going to be CapEx. Because you need to have server, dedicated room, and it's all CapEx. But with cloud, it just becomes your OpEx. So it's much more easy to scale up and scale down, if you are in cloud.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
On a simpler note, I will just quote an example, just like we take a term plan for ourselves. It's a term plan for our company. Simple.
Anybody else have any thoughts? I hope we answered some of that. Questions from the audience? Okay. So, how many of you are in the process of evaluating? Are there any concerns like whether just it's on cloud? Are there like people here said, when they were evaluating CRM, they had particular criteria in mind. So what is on top of your mind as you're evaluating a CRM solution? Is sales a concern? After sales, tracking of leads, dashboards? I'm just giving you heads. So I want to ask the audience.
How user-friendly it is.
Correct, yeah. So I think at least I'll answer from Ankush Bhai, yes.
Word Excel, same company. So, but obvious. Very good. Very user-friendly. Compared to other systems like SAP or I think so, I don't have experience as for HANA, that CRM, but yes, Microsoft is comparatively very good, user-friendly.
I think just to elaborate a little more, I think coming from the same Microsoft family, the look and feel, the user interaction, having the same icons and the pins, there's familiarity. So people using Word or Excel, when they go into a CRM, they don't think they're using a separate, completely new system. Many of it, the UI is pretty much the same. And to add on it, I said before, so CRM integrates very easily with Outlook and Office to export back data, to send emails with your quotations, everything. There's a study done, I think, by Nucleus, where it says almost 40% reduction in productivity was gained just from the way Microsoft integrates the different applications within it. So you're not opening one application, looking at, the data automatically feeds from one system to the other without you having to open up different applications altogether.
I think it's a very important point. Whenever, and again, I'm talking about the 13 years that I've been selling CRM, user friendliness or usability is always the top criteria, and it should be, because if you compare the top CRMs, the top 3, from a feature functionality perspective, pretty much everybody would be close. And of course, in certain release cycle, Microsoft will move ahead, something Salesforce will do better. But this is one criteria where we definitely score ahead of any CRM, and that you can ask any of our customers. That precisely is because Microsoft's core DNA has been productivity. We were not a business company. Our end users have always been, consumers, people like us. So usability is our core focus, which is embedded in the application, in the way you use the application, and it also comes from the fact that it integrates with all the other Microsoft applications. So like Anuja mentioned, this small thing of having your CRM in Outlook is actually a big boost for a lot of people.